Time for our last Midday Minute segment. Really excited. I'm being joined today by Dr. Nicole Ferguson. Special guest for me because one of my directors, Aaron, she's actually married to him. So we're just getting everybody, all the family in. But you are a lot more than just Aaron's wife. You're an author, mental health advocate, motivational speaker.
Yes.
And I brought you on today for a really timely segment. We're headed into the holiday season, and I know it can be really tough for a lot of people, and it's something that we don't really talk about. So you have an event coming up called Surviving the Holidays. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I usually do wellness events throughout the community, and this year I decided to focus on the holiday season, which is an extremely stressful time for people, whether you suffer from mental illness or anything, or just in general. A lot of people feel anxious, extra anxiety. They feel more depressed throughout the holiday seasons because a lot of things will trigger memories, or they have heightened expectations of what that season will look like. So just providing the community an opportunity to learn more tips on, how to cope with family conflict, grief and loss that surrounds the holiday, as well as managing holiday stress and demand.
Right, and I know one particular topic is grief around the holidays. I think this is from when, you maybe have lost a family member or something around the holidays, or there's something. I remember my sister, a lot of people know I lost my sister, and her birthday is always Thanksgiving week. So my parents are always like, do you want to come home for Thanksgiving? I was like, no, I'm going to work. We're okay. So when you're going home and you have all these memories, what do you tell people for how to cope with some of that, how to cope with the memory of people that they love, and trying to measure that with like it being a happy time, or supposed to be a happy time?
Well, I think throwing expectations out the window is a good thing, because a lot of us go into it with what we're supposed to do, and that creates a lot of anxiety as well. So kind of formulating a plan for, what is best for you, taking time out for self-care to prevent added stress, as well as just knowing that grief is a complicated process and it's not to be rushed. A lot of times people will do things that they think are helping them with the grieving process, but in reality, it's more or less, making it more stressful for them.
When you say they think they're helping, what kind of things are you saying there?
Distracting themselves and working too much, or deciding not to go home for the holidays because they don't want to, see certain family members or certain reminders.
Yeah.
But just knowing that, it's a process where you learn how to find a place for that family member in your life, even though they're no longer with you physically, to know that they're always with you spiritually, and, to kind of find a new normal, as I would say.
And how do you recommend people do that? Because, you have your whole family unit and everybody deals with things differently, right? So do you recommend people come together as a family and find a way to mark that time together? Or when you say a new normal, how can people do that together?
I think it's a new normal individually, in terms of what that person meant to you in your life, the things that you used to do, and finding a way to incorporate that in going forward. And also as a family, I would look into grief counseling as well, because that helps you restructure your life after a loss. It also helps your family find new ways of remembering that family member, so that you can also move forward, so that you're not necessarily forgetting about that person, which people think is grief counseling, but it's actually just the opposite. It's actually incorporating a place for that person in your life in a new way.
And it's not just grief that's stressful around the holidays. Sometimes it's the financial burden of the holidays. It's being around family. College kids hate coming home because you have all the questions. So
Yeah.
What do you find are some other stressors for people around the holidays, and how can they cope there?
Other stressors are family conflict. So for instance, a lot of people will avoid family members that they don't get along with, or that trigger kind of memories or stress for them. And the only time that they see them are around the holidays, and it's kind of something you can't avoid. So for me, I know that I would suggest, doing things that help you. A lot of people are stressed out because they think they want to change the other person, and the other person is not going to change. The only person that you can change is yourself. So doing a bit of self-reflection, preparing for that day, knowing what's to come is better than walking into it blindsided. So.
Right. A lot of people just go home, they're like, I don't know what to expect, but we're just going to do it, and they keep doing that same cycle over and over again. So
Yeah.
if you want to break the cycle, we have a great event for you. It's coming up tomorrow, Surviving the Holidays, 3 till 5:30 in the
Yes.
Black Rock neighborhood at, is it Rack Solidarity?
Yes, Rack Solidarity on Amherst Street.
Amherst Street. Okay, I'll post that information for you all online. Dr. Ferguson, thank you so much for being here with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank
Our
you.
last
Thank
Midday
you.
Minutes guest. All right, we'll be right back just after this break.